So, well, friends, today's discussion is on the area of the definitions of curriculum, on the for discussing or presenting the definitions relating to curriculum. Above all, the views of our personal concern, we are to see or we are to scrutinize the views of different educationists of the world. And for doing so, here we have come to see the perception of Froebel, one of the great German educationists who has linked with the concept of kindergarten, where kinder means children and garten means garden. Froebel, just to teach the little children, prescribed the use of some of the important usage tools in the name of gifts and occupations. Froebel defined the curriculum as curriculum should be conceived as an epitome of the rounded whole of the knowledge and experience of human race. Means, by the term curriculum, what Froebel has proceeded to mean is the inclusion of all the important aspects of learning for the development of holistic personality, or all attributes of human personality. And that's why Froebel has very extensively explained the concept of curriculum as it should be conceived as an epitome of the rounded whole of the knowledge and experience of the human race. Let us see the next. John Dewey is one of the greatest pragmatic philosophers. There is a great book of Dewey which was being published perhaps in 1916, the name of which is Democracy and Education, where he practically presented his views regarding the concept of democracy and the roles of education for helping the citizens to develop democratic spirits and principles. Dewey has, the great American educationist and pragmatist, defined curriculum as subject matter of learning of curriculum is identical with all the objects, ideas and principles which enter as resources or obstacles into the continuous intentional pursuit of a course of action. Here also, once we scrutinize or elaborate the views of Dewey concerning to curriculum, we find he explained the concept of curriculum covering all dimensions of the process of education as well as various dimensions of educational exercise. Munro is one of the greatest educationists. He has explained the curriculum as embodies, means curriculum embodies all the experiences which are utilized by the school or by the educational institutions to attain the aims of education. Means for attaining the goals of education, for realizing practically the set objectives of a particular process of education in a particular stage, maybe primary, maybe secondary or higher secondary or the university or undergraduate, whatever it may be. You see, we need the curriculum. We are bound to depend on the curriculum. And curriculums are the bundle. Curriculums are the totality of experiences which are to be utilized or followed for the practical realization of the aims and objectives of the process of education. Let us see the next. The Secondary Education Commission of 1952 on 1953, which was headed by Dr. L.K. Mudaliar, who was the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University of Madras. He has pointed out clearly the very nature and conception of the desired curriculum as it must be clearly understood that according to the base education is taught. Curriculum does not mean only the academic subjects traditionally taught in the school or in the educational institutions, but curriculum includes the totality of experiences. Totality, there should be one of totality of experiences that a child receives at schools or at any educational institution or institutions. In this sense, the whole life of the school becomes, or the whole life of the educational institution becomes the curriculum which can touch the life of the students or the learners at all points and help in the evolution of a balanced personality. Means curriculum does not mean simply the academic contents which are to be taught or transacted to the students or the learners by the teachers. But curriculum includes all activities which are exercised or which are very much important for the development of total dimension of human personality, means personality of the learners. Let us see the next. It has already been mentioned that the curriculum is the third pillar of the formal process of education. Means when we started to discuss, we come to know that education is a tripolar process where the presence of the teachers, the presence of the students, and the presence of the curriculum is very much important. And the third dimension has special impact on the total process of transaction of knowledge and information from one angle, means from the first dimension, that is from the community of teachers to the learners or the students, depending on the contents of the curriculum or the curriculums. Teachers basically, you see, transact various information on the disseminate different types of necessary knowledge to the learners so that teachers can help the learners to develop their psychological parameters, at the same time to develop the physical efficiencies and get the sons to develop moral parameter of personality, and thereby teachers can get the sons to help the learners to develop personality in totality or in holistic way, just to help the learners to face life situations as per the demand of change situation. Without curriculum, it is not possible to impart education in a planned way. Means once we come to the, or when we consider the formal system of education, then without the presence of the third most important dimension of parameter, the process can't help us function. For the functioning of the formal process, there is the demand of the presence of the teachers, there is the demand of the presence of the students. At the same time, the importance of curriculum cannot be negated. Friends, participants' curriculum, when we are to define it, we are to see it as one of the most important and essential dimension of the total process of education in formal setting. And therefore, above all, the presence of the teachers, presence of the students, the presence or the requirement of the curriculum has special significance or importance. Let us see the next one. The need of a curriculum. Why we need a curriculum, you see, may be explained in brief by the following points. Means, for the realization of the significance of the presence of curriculum in the formal process of education, means just to explain the need or the requirement of our dependence as teachers on the curriculum, we may understand so much well by the evaluation of the contents of the specific points like, number A, curriculum is the means by the help of which or depending on which, you see, the philosophy of education of a particular society may be practically realized. Friends, education is a very broad concept, and development of human society, change of human society, uplift of human life, transformation of human economy, change of human culture, and the development of human civilization as a whole depends on the process of education. And that is why education is such a process which is considered important for not only developing the personality attributes of the learners, but also it is such a process with the help of which total sense of human society as well as civilization also become possible. And that's why this way it has been explained. Number B is, different aims of education are realized with the help of curriculum. Means curriculum, the contents of the curriculums are being selected according to the very objectives of the national system of education. And at the time of consideration for inclusion in the curriculum of a particular level of education of different subject matters, the demand of the nation is well considered. With the help of the process of education, we practically try to realize the philosophy of life of a particular nation. And that's why the contents of the curriculums are very much important for helping the learners or the students to come to know about the basic philosophy of life of a particular nation. At the same time, with the help of the dissemination of various information or transaction of knowledge depending on the contents of curriculum, national goals, goals for prosperity, goals for advancement, goals for upliftment, goals for innovation, goals for acquiring specific status amidst the club of nations are being well kept in mind or considered so much important. Number C is, curriculum is the basis of the formal process of education. Means it is the foundation. Without curriculum, no formula of education can function. And that's why curriculum, we are to treat it as the foundation or the base of the formal process of education. Teaching friends or their participants or respected participants, as well as the process of learning, both these aspects of formal education are possible only with the help of curriculum. Teachers never can teach anything else in the formal educational setting. For teaching or for making the process of teaching a reality, teachers are bound to depend on the contents of the curriculum of a specific subject or the bundle of subjects. At the same time, students learn depending on the contents of the curriculum which are being transacted by the teachers, the knowledge of which are being disseminated to them by teachers by following various means and methods, as well as taking the help of different skills and procedures. Let us see the next one. The curriculum helps to build up suitable method or methods of teaching. Methods of teachings do have special importance in the process of dissemination of knowledge or transaction of information from the first point or pole, that is teacher, to the students, that is to the second pole or second dimension of the process of formal education. E is curriculum helps to develop proper models of teaching. There are various models which are basically followed by the teachers to disseminate information, transact knowledge in the classroom situation. And by considering the contents of curriculum, basically models are being developed by the teachers to help the students or the learners learn so much well. Means learn systematically, learn psychologically, learn procedurally. Because class teaching is a special art which demands artistic capabilities and transaction of information to the students. Teaching is a science which demands to follow or demands the urgency of following various methods just to make the process quite scientific and quite systematic. Therefore, depending on the curriculum, various models of teaching are being developed or are to be developed. F. Hierarchy of knowledge. Specific steps of knowledge can be achieved with the help of a curriculum. A curriculum is a means to achieve different hierarchy of knowledge. Knowledge has diverse hierarchy, and with the help of the contents of curriculum, basically teachers in the classroom, particularly in formal setting, teachers help their learners to develop various dimensions of knowledge so that they can build their personality so much well by developing their individual or personal attributes or qualities and become efficient human being as well as proper human resource for taking part in the process of life building, society building, nation building, and the transformation of civilization of the global social order as a whole. Number Z is curriculum helps to organize different knowledge, information, and activities of a subject to make it a compact whole. Means for making a subject a compact whole, various segments of knowledge are being considered for inclusion in this curriculum. And that's why with the help of the contents of curriculum, not only the teachers intend to transact information of a specific, parameter or segment of knowledge, but in totality, depending on the curriculum of a particular stage of education, teachers try to satisfy the necessity of students or the learners to get the chance to develop all parameters of personality and get chance to develop, all capabilities so that they can become proper human resource, at the same time human being, responsible citizen of human society, or responsible citizen of a particular nation, proper human resource, and they can get the chance to learn about or be well acquainted with the value system of the society. So friends, keeping in mind all the necessary aspects for leading a successful life, taking part in the process of leading life at the same time, taking part in the process of social science and nation building, the contents of curriculums are being selected and those are being included in various curriculums of different levels of education. Last one is, curriculum helps to evaluate the teaching of the teacher and learning of the students. Evaluation of the result of teaching has special significance for every teacher, and by evaluating the impact of the process of teaching, the teacher can know how much the students have learned, means how much the students had the chance to develop their personality attributes for becoming proper human asset or human resource of the society. So friends, in totality, curriculum is one of the most important dimensions of the formal process of education, and its place is in the process just after the presence of the teachers, presence of the students. Its place is being reserved for helping the process of education function so much well, go on as per the set mission, go on as per the set vision of the nation, where the systems of education is in operation. So friends, without curriculum, no formal process of education can be practically functional, and that's why to help to make the process of education, particularly the process of transaction of knowledge and information, there is the need of curriculum, without which nothing in formal educational setting can be achieved as per the set goal, as per the plan, mission, as per the well-defined vision. Thank you so much.